Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Aptitude Club and welcome to this video which is the second part of QA explanations for CAT 2022 slot 2. Now the previous slot 1 I had taken it up in 3 parts, and slot 2 also I'll take it up in 3 parts. So accordingly every previous paper I'll be like breaking the total quant section into some parts so that it won't be too much for you to process in one video. So 7 8 questions, maximum 10 questions per video, and it will be easy for you to be attentive and solve those questions in the video. Now I'll link the previous videos playlist in the I section, so do check it out, and I'll also provide the link in the description of the video. So this is the part 2 of slot 2 quants paper for CAT 2022. If you're new to my channel and you like the content and my way of explanation, so do subscribe to Aptitude Club channel for more such content about the CAT preparation, be it in terms of subject matter or questions practice, or let us say strategy. So I try and put videos almost every day, so you get something important related to your CAT preparation on this channel. So without further delay, let's begin. So in the first part we had taken questions from 1 till 7. Now we'll start with question number 8. Simple question on arithmetic progression, little tricky though. The average of a non-decreasing sequence. So when it is saying non-decreasing sequence, I can tell that it is either a constant sequence or maybe increasing. Constant as in all the terms are same, or increasing means gradually the subsequent terms are increasing. We can go by that also. And of n numbers, a1 till an, the average is 300. So I can write a1 plus a2 plus a3 till an. Sum of the terms, if the average is 300 for n terms, then the sum I can write it as 300n. Let this be equation 1. And then it is saying if I replace the first term with 6a1 and rest of the terms remaining same, my average becomes 400 again for n terms. So the sum is 400n. So now if I subtract equation 2 minus equation 1, all the terms will get cancelled out except this 6a1 minus a1. I will get 5a1 is equal to 100n, or which gives me a1 is equal to 20n. This is an important result. a1 is equal to 20n. Okay, now the question here is asking that possible number of values of a1. That means in how many ways you can start your sequence. Based on the number of terms, in how many ways can I start my sequence, and this is the relation between a1 and 20n, number of terms. So a1 is basically the first term of my sequence and n is the number of terms. Now let us think about it in this way. What can be my maximum number of terms in the sequence, and what can be my minimum number of terms in the sequence? So we will take this a1 is equal to 20n and we'll start with n is equal to 1. This implies a1 is equal to 20 and the sum of n terms. Sum of n terms is 300n. So sum is 300 into n is 1. So it is 300. But this is not possible because you have only one term in the sequence and that term itself is 20. So how come the sum will become 300? So this is not possible. That means n equal to 1 is not a possible value. That means a1 cannot be 20. Now can I take n is equal to 2? N is equal to 2 means a1 is equal to 40 and my sum has to be 300 into 2, 600. Now this is possible. 40, and let us say I'll take the other number as 560 divided by 2, I will get the average as 300. This is possible. So n can be 2. So accordingly n can be 2, it can be 3, it can be 4, it can be 5 and so on. I'll have to figure out what is the last point. Maximum value of n will be how much. Now think of it in this way. If I take on increasing, because the sum is fixed 300n, the average has to be 300. So if I go on in an increasing sequence, my number of terms will be minimized, of course. If I want to maximize my number of terms, so it has to be a constant sequence, because only if the terms are constant you can accommodate more terms. If you are increasing every subsequent term, so the sum being fixed, you will have lesser number of terms. So for maximum number of terms, I'll have to have a constant sequence. So if all terms are equal, all the terms are equal, so n times a1 is equal to 300n. There are n terms and n times a1 is equal to 300n. Or if this is 20n, a1 is equal to 20n. So maximum each term will be how much? So I'll have n is equal to maximum 15, because 20 into 15, I will have 300. Is this making sense? So maximum is 15 and minimum will be your 2. You can't start from 1. Hence from n is equal to 2 till n is equal to 15, I'll have 14 values of a1. Because if you solve this, how did I get this? Look at equation 1. If a1 equal to a2 equal to a3 equal to an, so this total sum I can rewrite, because every term is equal now. This total sum I can rewrite as n times a1, and this is 300n. So that means a1 will be 300, and every term is 300, thus the average is 300. But in that process, how many terms maximum you can take? You can take 15 terms max. Okay, because if a1 is 300, here I got a1 is 300, you can put it here. This gives me a1 is equal to 300. So 300 is equal to 20 times n. So from there n equal to 15 again. I just skipped a few steps here, but I hope all of you understand now. If all the terms are same, this sum can be rewritten as n times a1 is equal to 300n. So a1 is equal to 300. Then you take this result and put it here. 300 is 20 times n. So n is 15, and that's the maximum. N from 2 till 15. That is your last value. So I'll have 14 possible values from 2 till 15. So how many possible values of a1? And there are 14 possible values of a1. A little fundamental question in terms of this minima and maxima, although arithmetic progression से है ये question, but you have to understand it a little bit. Definitely a round 2 question in the exam, because anyways it's a theta question. So ऐसा नहीं कि options है and it will give you some clue. If you have fundamental clarity on this topic and you can spend 2.5 minutes, this should be doable. But I'll not recommend it in round 1 in the exam. Round 2 question. Okay, let us look at this one. Beautiful quadratic बोल रहा हूँ, cubic polynomial question. Okay, cubic polynomial question. Now for those of you who don't like know cubic polynomial basics, I'll just recap it here for you. If I have a cubic polynomial like this, p of x is ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d. This is the standard form of a cubic polynomial. So the number of roots, there will be 3 roots. The roots are alpha, beta and gamma. I can write my sum of roots, alpha plus beta plus gamma. This is always minus b by a. Sum product of roots, alpha beta plus beta gamma plus alpha gamma is c by a, and product of roots, alpha into beta into gamma, it is minus d by a. Just with this much information we can solve this question very easily. Sum of roots, sum product of roots and product of roots, 3 relations. Now let us come back to this. Here the polynomial given to us, p of x, it is 5x cube plus cx square minus 10x plus 9. R and C are real numbers. Here it is saying R and minus R are the roots. So let the third root be alpha. Let us say the third root is alpha. So sum of roots r plus minus r plus alpha is equal to minus c by 5. This gives you, this gets cancelled out. Alpha is equal to minus c by 5. Then next, if I write some product of roots, r into alpha plus minus r into alpha plus r into minus r. Some product of roots, roots taken 2 at a time, is c by a. C here is minus 10 by 5 is minus 2. So again this gets cancelled out. So I get minus r square is equal to minus 2, or r square is equal to 2, or r is equal to plus minus root 2. So I'll take one value as root 2 and the other value as minus root 2, because r and minus r are the roots. And then we are left with the third equation. So we have already got the value of r. Now it is easy. If I go with the product of roots, that is r into minus r into alpha. The product of roots is 9 by 5. Sorry, minus 9 by 5. Minus d by a. So d here is 9. So minus of 9 by a here is 5. So you get minus r square into alpha is equal to minus 9 by 5. So minus gets cancelled out. R square, the value here I can put it as 2, because r square is equal to 2. So I will get alpha is equal to 9 by 10. Once you have got alpha is 9 by 10, question is saying find the value of c. So c, from this relation I can write c is equal to minus 5 alpha. So just put it here. C is equal to minus 5 times alpha. That means c is minus 5 into 9 by 10, or I can get c as minus 9 by 2. एकदम सिंपल सा क्वेश्चन है. Just these three relations: sum of roots, sum product of roots, and product of roots. Systematically just use these three information. Very simple way में you can solve this question. Very easy question. Okay. So depends on your choice. This could be a round 1 as well as a round 2 question in the exam. How comfortable you are with the concept, it would depend on that. Not a lot of applications involved here. Okay, simple sa question. Hope this is clear to all of you. Let's take a look at this one, functions. Now this was actually a brainer, this question. So let's see how to approach this question in the exam. Now if you would solve functions a significant number of questions, then this question will be doable for you in the exam. Someone who has not solved a lot of questions, for them it can get a little difficult. Let us see how we should think on this. Now for all integers x, there are two functions f and g, such that first function f is defined in this way. We have f of x plus f of x minus 1 is equal to 0. So I can write f of x plus f of x minus 1, this is equal to 1. Let's play around with this equation. This will give us a very important conclusion. What does it tell you? That for x is equal to 0, I can write f of 0. Sorry. Let's start with x is equal to 1. Okay. If I put x equal to 1, so f of 1 plus f of 0 is equal to 1. If I put x is equal to 2, then f of 2 plus f of 1 is also 0. Now from these two results, f of 1 is same here. So that means f of 2 and f of 0 should be same in value. That means I can write f of 2 is equal to f of 0. Just a second. इसको मैंने 0 लिख लिया, ये 1 है. Just substitute x in the LHS. RHS is 1, which is a constant. RHS will not change no matter whatever you put it in the LHS. fx plus fx minus 1 is always 1. No matter whatever you put as x in LHS, RHS is not going to change, it is 1. So f of 2 and f of 0 should be same because f of 1 same है, दोनों का RHS भी same है. If you put x is equal to 3, then you get f of 3 plus f of 2 is again 1. Again look at this, f of 2 and f of 2 same, that means f of 3 must be equal to f of 1. Then if I put x is equal to 4, I will get f of 4 plus f of 3 is equal to 1. Again from these two results, f of 3 same, that means f of 2 and f of 4 should be same. F of 2 is equal to f of 4. Put x is equal to 5, so f of 5 plus f of 4 is equal to 1. Again from these two results, f of 3 and f of 5 should be same. So this gives us a very important conclusion that f of 0 is equal to f of 2 is equal to f of 4 and so on, and f of 1 is equal to f of 3 is equal to f of 5 and so on. That means I can say f of all odd are equal and f of all even are equal. All odd f are equal and all even f are equal. That's a very important conclusion that we can draw here. Then g of x is defined as x square. If f of x square minus x is equal to 5. Now let us go to the question. We have derived this and this is a very important conclusion. Let's take a look at this. Here it is saying f of x square minus x is equal to 5. Now putting x is equal to 0 here, I'll get f of 0 square minus 0 is equal to 5. That gives me f of 0 is equal to 5. Similarly, if I put x is equal to 1 here, f of 1 square minus 1 is equal to 5, which gives me f of 1 is also 5. Sorry, f of 1 square minus 1 is f of 0 again. F of 0 I got as 5, that means f of 0 is equal to f of 2 is equal to f of 4 and so on. All these values are 5. All I need now is the even value. So even value we can just substitute here. Suppose I'll go with this equation. I know f of 1 plus f of 0 is equal to 1. F of 1 plus f of 0 is equal to 1. So f of 1, f of 0 I got as 5 is equal to 1. That means f of 1 is equal to minus 4. So f of 1 is equal to f of 3 is equal to f of 5. All odd values are minus 4. Simple. Now let's come to the question. Composite function there, f of g of 5 and g of f of 5. Okay. F of g of 5 plus g of f of 5. How much is g of 5? G of x is x square, so g of 5 will be 5 square. And g of f of 5, how much is f of 5? Minus 4. So f of 5 square means f of 25 plus g of minus 4. G of x is x square, so this becomes minus 4 square. Now f of 25 means f of odd, so this is minus 4 plus 16. The answer is 12. I'm not saying this is an easy question to answer. Okay, not everyone will be able to think this through, and it is okay if you're not able to solve this question in the exam. But from a learning point of view, we should solve such questions in functions beforehand, so that you can have some liberty to think. If we do not solve such questions, we'll not understand in what way we should begin this. Okay, someone who would have solved some 40-50 questions specifically on functions, you can think this through. But it is okay, don't take too much stress that I'll have to solve all questions in the exam. But yeah, from a learning point of view, you should understand all the explanations. So I hope this is clear. Simple way, first I derived the relation that all even inputs the output is same, and in all odd outputs, the like odd inputs, f of odd is equal, f of even is equal, f of odd is equal. Then we figured out how much is the value for each odd input or each even input, and then we solve this. Okay, let us come to this one. It's a very easy question on ratio. It just looks lengthy, very easy question. In an election, there were 4 candidates. Okay, and 80% of the registered voters casted their votes. The total registered voters, let us say, is 100x. Uska 80% is like 80x. These many people casted their votes, and these many votes were distributed between 4 candidates. So let me write it in this way: candidate 1, candidate 2, candidate 3, and candidate 4. One of the candidates received 30% of the casted votes. 30% of the casted votes. So if 80x, so candidate 1 is like 30% of 80x. So candidate 1 will get 24x. While the remaining, how much is remaining now between candidate 2, 3 and 4? So 80x minus 24x, I'm left with 56x. And that has to be distributed in the ratio 1:2:3, which becomes 6 parts. Now here comes the problem. Not actually difficult. Okay, what we can do is maybe simplify it a little bit. You can solve it in this way: 56x you distribute in the ratio 1:2:3. That is also correct. But 56 को breaking it in 6 parts can be a little difficult. And because there's a lack of 6 or 3, so what I'll do is, instead of 100x, what I'll do is, my initial assumption, I'll take it as 300x. I hope all of you understand why. Because the moment you take it as 300x, it will be divisible by 3, and breaking the remaining votes in the ratio 1:2:3 will be convenient for us. 100x was not wrong. In that process also you would have got the same answer only, but if you assume it as 300x, then you can avoid fractions. Now it's a way of solving. It's not any concept, but it's a problem solving approach. If assumption is in our hands, so why not assume something which will make our calculations easier? Why assume something and then get into a lengthy process of solving? So look how it becomes simpler. 80% of this will become 240x. Uska 30% of 240x. 30% of 240x will be like 24 times 72x. The remaining votes, so 240 minus 72, so 168. 168 I can split it in 6 parts. So this implies one part will be 28. So here I'll be giving one part, 2 parts, 3 parts. That means 28x so 160x, one part is 28x. So 56x and 84x. So you exactly know the individual votes of each of the candidates. You see, because I took it as 300x, that is why I could distribute it in all natural numbers. I did not get any fraction. Okay. The moment you see 80%, so this is 4 by 5, 30% means 3 by 10, 1:2:3 means 6 parts. So my assumption should involve a 10 and definitely involve a 6. And because percentage है तो 100 में रखना है, including a 6, so either you can go for a 300 or a 600x. So it will like help you avoid fractions throughout your calculation. Having done this, then the winner, who is the winner? Of course, this received 2512 votes more than the candidate with the second highest. Who is second highest? So winner minus second highest. Winner minus the second highest is 2512. Now it is easy to solve. Winner minus the second highest, this is 2512. That means 84x minus 72x. This is 2512, or I get 12x is equal to 2512. or this gives me x is like 2512 divided by 12, and we have to calculate the number of registered voters. How much is 300x? And total registered voters is 2512 divided by 12 into 300. So this is like 25. So 25 into 250 carry 5, 25 0 carry 3, 25 5 125, 8 carry 12, 25 2, so 62,800. This should be my answer. Is it there in the options? Yeah, 62,800. So very simple question on ratio, and it's a must solve question in the exam. These are like fundamental ratio questions, level 1 questions that we solve while reading the chapter. So definitely this is a question that all of you should have solved. Okay, let us see this question. Fundamental principle of counting. Fundamental principle of counting. Permutation, combinations, and this question is directly from there. This time the questions were really good, not in terms of difficulty, but in terms of variety. If someone has solved all chapters, I'm not saying has become an expert in every chapter, but if you have solved all chapters, covered the grounds in every chapter, you are aware of all the concepts that is there to know in every chapter, then you will find it extremely easy to solve at least 12 to 14 questions in the exam across all slots. But if you have skipped chapters beforehand and then you would have gone for attempting the test, you can find it a little challenging. So what are the available digits with us? So the available digits are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. There are 6 available digits with us. Then the number of integers greater than 2000. So we'll have to create numbers that are greater than 2000. So I can create first 4-digit numbers. How many 4-digit numbers can you make? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 places. Now because this is 2, so for this place I can only have either 2, 3, 4 or 5. This place can be taken up in 4 ways. You cannot put 0 also, only 2, 3, 4, 5. So the first place can be filled up in 4 ways, and I have total 6 digits. So once you have used any digit here, and it is said that each digit is used at most once, that means no repetition of digits. You cannot repeat the digits. So if I've used any of the 4 digits here and I'm left with 5 digits now, so this place will have 5 choices, then 4 choices, then 3 choices. So 5 into 4 20, into 3 60, into 4 240 numbers I can make here. 4 digit numbers. Similarly, I can go for 5 digit numbers also. One, two, three, four, 5. Now if you look at the first place again, I can take anything except 0. So I can take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this place has got 5 choices. You had total 6 digits. If you use any one digit here, then you are left with 5 more digits. 4, 3, 2. So 5 into 4 20, into 3 60, into 2 120, into 5 600. And if you go with 6 digit numbers, and this is the highest because total there are 6 digits. So 6 digit numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again following similar process, except 0 I can put any of the 5 digits here. Out of 6, 1 digit is used here, so the rest of the 5 digits, यहाँ पे any one of it. Then 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. Again another 600 numbers. And total how many numbers can you make? First I had 240 I think. Then you have 600 and then again 600. So total 1440. Such an easy question from permutation combination. A lot of people skip a permutation combination topic thinking that the questions are difficult, but this is something very fundamental and very basic. When we read PNC, this is a question that all of us should solve. Nothing difficult to understand, no exceptions, no trick, nothing. Simple, just we'll have to take care of the 0. How many choices per place? इतना ही समझना है बस. All right, numbers, super easy question. Super easy. For some natural number n, assume that 15,000 factorial is divisible. 15,000 factorial is divisible by n factorial ka factorial. So find the largest possible value of n, and we have been given the options also. So directly use options. If you use options, so I'll start with the largest value, n is equal to 7. So how much is 7 factorial factorial? 7 factorial is 5040, it's factorial. Now we'll have to check whether 15,000 factorial is it divisible by 5040 factorial. So 15,000 factorial divided by 5040 factorial, let us say whether it is divisible or not. So I can write it as 5040 factorial into 5041 into 5042, so on till 15,000 divided by 5040 factorial. So of course it is divisible, because a bigger factorial will be definitely divisible by the smaller factorial, definitely. So divisible, that means I'll go with the highest. I need not check for 5, 4 and 6, because already for 7 it is possible and we have to calculate the largest value. So 7 is my answer. Such a simple question. Super easy question if you just understand factorials. So one thing that I would say in note here, that for factorials, 0 factorial is 1, 1 factorial is 1, 2 factorial is 2, 3 factorial is 6, 4 factorial is 24, 5 factorial is 120, 6 factorial is 720, 7 factorial is 5040, 8 factorial is 40320. At least be comfortable till 8 factorial in terms of its values, so that you will find it easy in the exam to solve. Speed calculations hoga. And one simple property, that n factorial is n into n minus 1 factorial. This is used for expansion. Very simple concept, no IGP concept or no highest power concept, nothing. Okay, very simple, just based on divisibility ka rule. We have been asked this, and super easy. Okay, definitely a round 1 question in the exam, and a must solve question tha ye, easy. But if we skip chapters while studying, then we will not be in a position to choose in the exam. So those of you who would be watching this at this point, and the purpose of these videos are that only, to explain you how you could have gone for attempting the exam, how many questions could have been easy for you if you would have solved all chapters. So what people do is they get very selective from the beginning. Focus on learning. At this phase, the first phase of the preparation is learning, acquiring knowledge, clearing out the concepts, understanding the basics, formulas, their derivation, their application, solving different types of questions. Be curious and interested in that manner. And then phase 2 would be prioritizing, solving more questions on the chapters from which more questions are asked. That is phase 2. But we'll have to go through phase 1. Minimum 1-3 महीने का 3.5 महीने का preparation तो करना ही करना है. Only then you will find it beneficial for you, and will be at a better state in terms of selection of questions in the exam. Okay, so read all chapters while you're starting your preparation. All chapters are equal. Maybe this cannot be the strategy 5 months down the line if someone is starting their preparation in the month of July. So then they have to cut down a little bit on a few things. But if you're starting it now, first 2-3 months, spend time in acquiring knowledge. Very important. Okay, logarithmic inequality, very standard question, easy question. Let's go step by step. 4 minus log to the base 2n divided by 3 minus log to the base 4n is less than 0. So I can write it as 4 minus log to the base 2n. 3 minus this 4, I can write it as 2 square. Then it becomes like this: 4 minus log to the base 2n minus by 3 minus 1 by 2 log to the base 2n. This property, that log to the base a to the power m b to the power n, it is n by m log to the base ab. N comes in the numerator and the power of the base will come in the denominator. So that is what has happened here. And at this state, this is less than 0. At this place, what you do is assume let log to the base to n is equal to x. So you get 4 minus x, 3 minus x by 2 is less than 0. बस इसे अभी solve करना है. I can write it as 4 minus x. So this is 6 minus x by 2 is less than 0. Or I can have 8 minus 2x by 6 minus x is less than 0. This 2 gets multiplied in the numerator. Or you'll have 2x minus 8 by x minus 6 less than 0. A common mistake that people do here is they take this and multiply it in the RHS. Do not do that. Why? Let me explain you in this way. Suppose I'll give you a ratio and I'll say a by b is less than 0. So it can mean you two things. Less than 0 means a negative. So it means a can be negative and b can be positive. And a can be positive, b can be negative. This can also happen. But now imagine if you take b and multiply it here, you will only get a less than 0. That means you will only evaluate the first case. But what about the second case? That was also possible. So we need to factor in the denominator. Always factor in the denominator. And how do you do that? You just multiply the denominator in the numerator. 2x minus 8 x minus 6 divided by x minus 6 ka whole square. I just multiplied x minus 6 in the numerator denominator. Now you can take this and multiply here. So 2 I can take out common. 2 into x minus 4 into x minus 6 is less than 0. Or I basically get x minus 4 into x minus 6 is less than 0. So my roots here are 4 and 6. Now just use that. If I put them in the number line 4 and 6 and then check with x is equal to 0, does it satisfy? No. So this will satisfy and this will not. So I get 4 less than x less than 6, which means 4 less than log to the base 2n less than 6, or 2 to the power 4 less than n less than 2 to the power 6. 16 less than n less than 64. So how many values? 64 minus 16 minus 1. 47 values of n. Because n is an integer, तो 16 से 64 के बीच में कितने integers हैं? That is what you have to figure out. So I'll have 47 values. Beautiful question. Just go with the properties. Logarithmic inequality. Okay, logarithmic inequality. Not a difficult thing. The only tricky part was this. Do not take this and multiply here, because the theta question you will won't realize what you made, like what kind of a mistake you did. So you will not get any negative mark, but this is a standard like expectation from someone who has actually prepared basic level में भी जो preparation किए होंगे. Nothing difficult, no extraordinary application of any concept, log properties and inequality का properties, simple, and must solve question in the exam again. Now you might be hearing I'm saying every question is must solve. It's not like that. I'm saying this for someone, let's say now you are watching this video, but 8 months down the line, once you have covered the basics of all chapters. Basic, when I say it, means the properties, the theorems, the rules, how are they derived, 20-30 standard examples, and then some 30-40 minimum good variety of questions you would have solved. You'll find the questions easy to approach. Okay, a lot of people sometimes they get carried away by this thought process. I'm not good in this subject, or I'm not good in this area, and I'm not good in maths, let's say. So don't focus on this. That's not the way you should think about the exam. The exam doesn't want you to be good in any subject. Okay, you have to understand what's the requirement of the test. Okay, and what needs to be done needs to be done. How do I do that? How do I reach at that stage? If I have a shortcoming in any one particular chapter, how do I overcome it? How do I understand it better? Maybe should I solve these many number of questions, and is it actually needed that I should be an expert in this topic, or can I do away with just the basic bare minimum preparation? If I cover all chapters like that, I'll get 12-13 questions easily, and that's a 99%. Why worry too much? But do not skip any chapters while you're studying. Okay, for you, all chapters should be important in phase 1. Phase 2 is prioritizing the topics. Phase 1 is learning all the topics. Okay. Now this is a question on special equation, and in CAT we have seen a lot of questions frequently being asked in this test questions bolte हैं इसको from the special equations area. Let's see what the questions are. So the student is giving the examination and 75 questions were there. You get 3 marks for each correct answer. 1 mark is deducted for each wrong answer, and 1 mark was awarded for each unattempted question. So special equation का question है. So let us say the student got X correct and then Y questions incorrect and Z questions unattempted. Okay. So let us say this is what or in this manner the student has appeared the exam. X correct, Y incorrect and Z unattempted. So my first equation will be X plus Y plus Z is equal to 75. Let's say this is equation 1 in terms of questions. In terms of marks, so 3 marks awarded for each correct answer, minus Y and then plus Z. So 3x minus Y plus Z, and you get a total of 97 marks. This is equation 2. So I have 3 variables but 2 equations. Now if I have such a situation where the number of variables is more, number of equations is less, so finding out the value of each variable uniquely is not possible. Okay, mathematically it becomes indeterminate, but that's not what the question wants us to calculate. We have been given one more extra condition. What is the condition? That the number of questions unattempted questions is greater than the number of questions attempted. That means Z is greater than X plus Y. Be careful in this part. Some people only take it as Z greater than X, but even if you're getting it wrong, it's under attempted section. Okay, if I have got a question correct or incorrect, I still have attempted that question. So Z is greater than X plus Y. So by that logic, if I compute these two by simply adding equation 1 and 2, what is the result? If I simply add equation 1 and 2, Y gets cancelled out. So I get 4x plus 2z is like 90, 70, 160, 182. Or 2x plus z, sorry 182 likha, 172. So 2x plus z will be like 86. Let this be equation 3. We'll have to find out the maximum number of correct answers by Ryan. Maximum x. The objective is to calculate x maximum. So let me write the equation here again. 2x plus z is 86, and we have the condition that z is greater than x plus y. Now because total number of questions is 75, so on one side if you put z and on one side you put x plus y, so z minimum, can I say it has to be 38 and x plus y is 37. I can have 39z and this is 36. I can have 40 and this is 35. I can have 41 and 34 and so on. It can continue like this. But the minimum value of z is 38. And in this equation, if I want to maximize x, if x has to be maximized, z has to be minimized, because this is a bounded equation. The sum is constant. So if x component I'll maximize, z component has to be minimized, and vice versa. So z minimum is equal to 38, and if I put it in the equation, so 2x plus 38 is equal to 86. So 2x is equal to 48 and x is equal to 24. This is the maximum possible value, and that is our answer. Maximum correct attempts can be 24. Special equations. Even if we had 3 variables and 2 equations, yet using this extra condition, we could arrive at our answer easily. So a lot of questions in this part of the video were from the algebra portion, and this was the second part. I hope all of you understood the explanation of each of these questions. If I missed the first part, do watch the first part of slot 2, and slot 1, 3 parts I have already done. So the entire playlist I have linked in the I section, and I'll also provide the link in the description of the video. If you have watched it this far, I hope you understood all the questions and their explanations, and you liked the video. Do subscribe to Aptitude Club channel to stay updated for more such videos about cat and cat related content. We'll meet again very soon in yet another video. Till then, keep solving, keep studying. Thank you for watching the video. Bye bye and see you soon.